Hello everyone, welcome into my craft space. It's Shauna and today I'm going to be working on a couple cards from the Full Deck Challenge. I still have quite a ways to go. I think I'm on number 13. When I label this video I will verify, but I think it's 13 and 14 I'm going to work on today. And then while I'm making those, I'm also going to use two cards from another deck. The deck I've been working on is blue. The other deck, these are just for ATCs, and I am in a swap, and the theme is things with wings, and my partner isn't a huge fan of butterflies, so I thought I would try to do something with bees, and we'll see how that goes. So I have a few ideas. On my desk here is the Quick Cuts Revolution die cut machine. I do have this in a video on manual die cutting. If you're interested in die cutting information, this is a nice little unit. It just does the thinlit dies, so the metal thin dies. And yeah, so we're gonna get cutting. I want to do one of these. So I have a Tim Holtz die here. This one is the backgrounds, mixed media backgrounds, and I'm going to use this one. And then this one came from this little set. I think it's just a COPIC set, but I don't really remember. It kind of looks like they're packaging, so the paper inside. So this one here, and we'll see what we can get. So one I thought I would cut right directly onto the card just to be fun. So I'm just going to probably put it right here like this. So the cool thing about the Quick Cuts Revolution is it's magnetic on there. So your die just stays where you want it to go. You put your medium or whatever you want to cut. And this is going to cut through the edge because this die is a little bigger than the card, but I'm okay with that. Then you put your cutting plate and then you just crank it through. This is one of the easiest die cutters I've ever worked with. If you are just wanting to have one die cutter and you want to cut more than just these little thinlit dies, it's maybe not for you. But if you mostly use the thinlit dies, want something compact and tabletop ready, this is a good unit. Okay, so let's see what we're left with here. Might have destroyed the card entirely, I don't know, we're just gonna see. I think that's kind of cool. I think it'll be okay. So we'll do some layering to make this a little more sturdy because it did make it pretty flimsy, but that's okay. And then we're left with all these little great cutouts. You can keep them if you want to. They're just little mini hexagons. They would make some great little shakers or little added embellishments. You can use a pokey tool here or one of the cool little COPIC tools that just kind of rollers over it to get these out a little faster. But you do want to get them out so it doesn't clog up the works next time you try to cut. Okay. And it kind of makes a mess on the desk, but we're used to that around here. No worries there. Okay, so we're just going to do a couple more cuts and then we'll get to the real work. So I'm going to put it on fast forward and you guys can just quickly watch me die cut and then we'll get to work. Okay, so I have all the die cutting done. I don't know if you guys noticed or not, but the Quick Cuts Revolution allows you to work either left-handed or right-handed. I do a little of both because I only wanted one pass through. So I crank it and it goes through and then I pick it up and turn it around. And then the next time I crank it with my left hand. So you can do whatever works for you, and it is a great little unit. I've had it for a lot of years, and it's really great to have on the desktop. Okay, so now let's see what we can create. The paper that I'm working with is basic gray. It was part of the Frapps collection, and the paper page itself is called Daphne. So it has these cute little bugs on it. This one has like a little bee. I think that's supposed to be like a little ladybug. Oh, focus. There we go. Anyways, I'm not sure how much of it's really going to show anyways, because that's just the nature of mixed media. The intention is there. Sometimes it shows, sometimes it doesn't. So I'm going to go ahead and use my trusty letter stamp just because I love it so much. And put this down. Kind of put it down over this one. Hopefully I inked it up enough. Yeah. Okay, and then maybe do that again on the backdrop of one of these other ones. Sometimes I stamp this in the very background. Sometimes I stamp it in the foreground. Sometimes I don't stamp it at all. Let's do this one going this way, just for something different. All right. So we'll do 2 with and 2 without. And then this one here, I was thinking about putting some glitter tulle on the very back of it, just because it'll add a little more sturdy and some extra interest. So I've got some gold glitter tulle. I love glitter tulle if you haven't watched any of my previous videos. So I'm going to cut it just a little bit smaller than the card because I really only want to glue to those parts that have the honeycomb there. Glitter tulle is such a fun way to add some little sparkle and extra interest. I just love it so much. I am a glittery girl though. I will use glitter. Glitter, glitter, and more glitter. We'll try not to glitz it up too much, guys. Okay, let's see. How do we do? All right. And so I'm going to have something glued on the back of this, so I might just use some tape along the edges here that won't be seen. Let's see. I just put it away before we started. That was smooth. Okay, so just some double-sided tape, and we'll run this. Just like right there. And then we'll just do a little piece maybe up there and right there. And then once I glue the real background on this, you won't be able to see this tape job. Could totally use any other tape that you, or tape or adhesive that you prefer. Use what works. I use a variety. Okay. This one, I think I'm going to put it diagonally just so it'll hold a little better what we've got going here. So we'll pull these off. And it's gotten sticky, so that's great. Put our glitter tool. Okay, so that puts some glittery stuff behind our die cut there, which I think adds some really cool effects. And this one, I had hoped the little bug would be able to stay, but I'm just not so sure he's gonna stay there. Maybe, maybe. I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut this. So that part really isn't seen a whole lot, but that's okay. And I'll just go ahead and glue this on. And we're just gonna glue right over that glittery tool. Okay, so I think I'm gonna let this one sit and dry for a few minutes. You could use a heat gun if you'd like. A little faster drying time. I think that's why I work on more than one at once, because then I don't have to be waiting for things to dry. I can just keep working. Okay, so this one, what is that? A little piece of paper stuck there. Okay, this one I think we might just do like this for the honeycomb pieces. I think I'm just gonna rip down. This is one I've just sewed, and then we just did that lettering stamp over it. Kind of wanted this more in the corner there. That out. Let's see how that is. Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Okay. So I think we'll put some glittery tulle behind this one, and then we'll call it good with the glittery tulle. At least for this video. Well, maybe. No guarantees. And this one, I think I'm just gonna add some glue because I'm gonna do some paper. Let's do some ink first. I've got some Versamagic Jumbo Java. I either will use this or Distress ink. I kind of switch between both of them. This Versamagic is a chalk ink, and I really love the look of it, so I use it quite a lot. I love my Distress products too. Huge fan of Tim Holtz's stuff, but I kind of mix them both, and it just depends on which one I grab. This down here and just rub a little bit on these honeycombs. All right, so we're using this on. Let's put some glue around here. It's been a really weird day here, you guys. I had more eye testing and they dilated my eyes, and it's been a few hours, so it's mostly worn off, but everything still looks more weird than normal, so I'm so sorry if I do anything really weird. Doing what I can to see as we play along here. Okay, and since that one is all wet, with the glue, we can let it dry for a second too and figure out what we're going to do with these other ones. And maybe we'll put a little more glue under there. So you can see I have some extra stuff hanging off the edge. Once it dries, I'll go ahead and cut that down. I just kind of let them dry organically, and then that's always my favorite way to dry things. Okay, so got two kind of sitting there drying with some base stuff going on. What are we going to do with these ones? I have this paper. It's a vellum paper by Paper Reflections. This is super old. It's been in my stash for a long time. The 6 or translucent vellum printed sheets. And this one is the one I pulled out because it has some bee stuff on here, and I just thought it'd be really fun. So I might go ahead and figure out how to. I think I might put this strip just up here so the bee is showing. My friend that I'm making the one card for isn't a huge fan of butterflies, but she does like other things. So I think what I'm gonna do is this one I painted with gesso, this one I just left plain. So I'm gonna put some book page, and I think we'll go ahead and spray it with some Distress Oxide spray, the Vintage Photo. And then we'll layer this card up and put that strip on there and see what we can do. I'm going to be a little heavy-handed because this one's not coffee dyed or tea dyed, so we'll just spray it quite liberally. And then what I love about this stuff is it dries super fast. So again, use a heat gun or whatever you want to do, totally fine. We will rip. And just rip along the sides here. Usually when I do my ATCs, I do use a playing card as the base. But I don't always like the card to show if it's just for an ATC. If I'm giving it as an altered playing card, then, you know, sometimes I let the pieces of the card show. It doesn't really matter. You can kind of do whatever you want to do. I think ATCs, you can pretty much do whatever you want. It's your art. Okay. So let's see. Well, it's going to show a little bit, and I'm okay with that. So I'll glue this on. This is the one that I did not do any gesso on, so giving it a good base of some book page is nice, so then I can just layer on whatever else I want to layer on. Making a few extras. I'm going to have to decide which one to send to my friend. And eventually she'll probably watch this video, so I might send her two. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Don't really like what's going on there. Let's see. That one's got a really straight edge, so we'll just tear it off. Maybe. I absolutely love paper tearing. One of my favoriteest things ever. Paper tearing. Who would have thought? Okay, and then I'm going to give this just a little more ink around the edges on this one. I'll glue it down. And so this one has that oxide spray, and then this is that Versamagic ink, and I really think they're paired very nicely, at least with this book page and the papers that I've used it for before. But you can stick with all one brand or whatever you'd like to do. Okay, glue that down. There's one, there's my other one. Oh, that one I got really tacky. And I think I'm going to use some of this ink and just go around the edges a little bit too. You can use as much or as little ink as you want. Just do whatever you think looks nice, appealing to your eye. You can use paint along the edges of these two. I have some really fun watercolors that are so much fun to use. Oh, I think I missed an edge there. There we go. Okay. So now I want to work on using this vellum here. I think this one I'm just going to tear. And since it's vellum, it tears really nicely. Vellum used to be a really hard thing to figure out how to attach to your page in the scrapbooking days, because if you use your glue, you can see right through it. But since this is printed vellum, it should be pretty easy to go. And because it's such a mixed media thing here, I could even just add a little tiny staple at the top or the bottom, and that would be fun too. So that's kind of fun. Let's see. Let's just try some glue and we'll see how it's going actually. Maybe we'll use this piece here. What does this look like? Or I could do it over it. I think I kind of like it under there. Yeah, that looks cool. Okay, so I think I'm gonna still try to ink this up a little bit. And this paper already had some really kind of cool, grungy, splattery looking things in the background, so that's really helpful and nice. I like that. Go ahead and add some glue around the edge of this. Let's see if it will stick. I might still add like a little tiny attacher or staple or something too. We'll see. And this one I kind of want to go at an angle. I like how this one has some solid spots so you can actually glue. Okay, that looks like it glued actually really nice. Nice hold there. Sticky again. And then I think this one I'm gonna use what's left of this piece and then the other piece of this little one here. Let's see how long it needs to be. Maybe just the 2 and then part of that last one. If you are someone who prints out printables, you can buy clear vellum and you can print them out yourself. That would be something that would get you close to what this look is like. Okay, so I think if we tear off this little bottom one, save it for another day. Perfect. Or maybe we'll flip it around, then our butterfly is upright. We could go this way or this way. I think I'm gonna go that way because I really like the bead that way. Okay. I'll rip this down. So these mixed media backgrounds, you're actually, the parts I'm playing with are the negative space, which I think is the background portion of it. But you can put your little confettis back in and plug some of these up and use it that way too. These have become one of my favorite die cuts. I absolutely love the mixed media piece that it adds, the element that it adds to everything. We will do some ink. So really just a few supplies and we're gonna get a few different looks here. When some people work on ATCs, they work on them in what's called a series. So they'll make however many they want in the series and they all kind of look the same, which I guess that could be kind of what this is. I usually just work on 2 or 3 at a time. Sometimes they're all totally different. Sometimes they're very similar like these. I think what's cool about it is you can just do what works for you. Now, see, this vellum is kind of wrinkling up because I used the liquid glue, so I'm gonna set something on top of it, help it dry a little flatter. Staples might be, like the tiny attacher staples might be something a little better to consider. Or even I could run this through the Xyron, that might be fun. Let's just put some glue down, call it good. I've got some eyelets for these, and let's try and see if some of these little charms I have will work. All right. Oops, we don't want those. Now another way to attach vellum, you could use brads or eyelets. I'm already doing brads, but I want the brad to go up here, and I don't really want that to go there. I guess I could kind of, we'll just keep going with what we've got going here. But the brads and eyelets would definitely be one way to attach it without having it curl like that one did. I actually kind of like the curl. Kind of makes it look a little more vintage-like. Now I'm not putting a ton of glue because it is vellum. I'm just kind of outlining. And then when I'm putting it on, we'll just smooth it out as best we can, because as you saw with that other one, it does start to curl up a little bit. Okay. Yeah, there it goes. It's curling. So maybe we'll set something on top of this one too. Puppy just woke up and is on the loose, so this could get interesting. Okay. So this one's looking like this. That was that first one that we did. It's kind of fun. Still got some glue on the back. Before we get too far, I want to get an eyelet in there. And I'll just use gold, and one of them we will use silver because I've got this cute little silver charm. Okay, so there's our eyelet for that one. That one's still drying. I think I have this bee stamp. I might put it down at the bottom there. This one we needed to cut down. So if you turn these over on the back and then just cut around, seems to be the easiest way, at least for me. Then I don't worry about what I'm cutting off. I just let it happen. And you can leave a little bit like that. Add some different shape to some of them, which is fun. That one a punch. Think. There we go. Can't see my settings, you guys. I think I have it right, but it's just not working like it normally does. But it's still working, so we're good with it. And no, that's the, there we go. I think I might let this one be the silver one. What's cool with these is you don't really have to do a lot to them. Like I think this one's kind of fun how it is. I might still splatter some paint or something and then add my charms and call this one good because I actually quite like it. How's this one drying? That's looking pretty good. Put in this last eyelid here. Now I do have some cute little tags on my desk. These little tiny ones I punched out in the last video where I was making ephemera, and those will be really cute. You can clip those on with the tags. At the top here you could stamp a little sentiment in it, like bee or whatever you wanted to do, or buzz. I don't know. Okay, so here's our 4 different cards we've got so far. And they're kind of similar, but still have enough differences that they can be different cards, which is cool. I really like that. Okay, so I found my bee stamp. This one is by, oh gosh, I can't even read that. It's Paper Somebody. And that is the code if you're interested. I really like this bee, kind of a realistic looking one. I will be stamping that on some acetate. This is just an acetate photo cover sheet that I have. It does have some words on it, but there are some clear spots. You can use the inserts from your sticker packets and stuff like that too if you save your little acetate sheets. I like to do that sometimes too, but this one I've already cut up, so I'm just gonna keep going. Okay. So I'm trying to unbury my ink here. This is where we're at so far with all 4 of these cards, and they've had a little bit of some time to dry. I'm going to be using the Archival Jet Black ink to stamp this bee. It's a really big ink pad. The store where I buy them never seems to have the small ones. I should just order it online, but I always forget. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp this bee. Right onto the acetate. I want to leave a little bit of room because I need to attach it somehow. It does stamp pretty well though. I like how it turns out. And then it'll just lay right over there, which I think is quite nice. Oops. Eek. There we go. Okay. So on this one, I think I'm going to add a little bit of some paper over this, just because it looks like it needs something else. Tear the edge there. I'll tear this bottom edge too. And maybe tear it right here. And I had this little piece of book page. We'll add that in. Some extra interest there. Yeah, I think that'll work, and it'll help glue this piece down a little better too. Scooch it up a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna add some ink. And acetate's another tricky medium to work with. It can be a little tricky to glue down. You can use staples, you can use a little dab of hot glue. You can use your tacky glue, it just takes a little longer to dry. And then all of those glue options are, of course, if you are doing in a spot that can be seen, because it's clear after all, so you will see through it. Just gonna cut out a little piece here. Sometimes also what I will do is leave a little extra so I can wrap it around if I'm putting something underneath it. Like we're putting this piece here, for instance. This could sit here and maybe wrap around like that. not sure yet what I want to do here. This one, just going to go across. Maybe up a little higher. There we go. Okay, let's just glue it down. Could play with it like all day. Some point you just have to go for it. And this piece, it might be a little bit interesting if we put some kind of a stamp right here. Let's see, what do we have nearby? Oh, I have one of these. This is just a little stamp set that I have handy here. Some of these clear stamps I can tell I haven't used in a really long time. They don't want to come off the acetate. There we go. So this is just some little sayings. We'll blot that in some ink. Nothing that you're going to read, but just something to add some interest to this part of the card there. Little mixed media support. And can pretty much put this B anywhere we want. Actually, I kind of like it right there. And since he has a little bit of dark coloring right there, I might just try to put a little blob of hot glue and see if it will stick. Go. So that's not too bad. You can't see a lot of the glue. You can see it a little bit, but not too much. And then we can cut this excess off here. I think it's a good placement because it'll kind of help support this area where the honeycomb is a little thinner up there. And then this excess acetate you can leave or you can cut off. Again, I might just kind of leave some of it because I feel like it helps protect this honeycomb a little bit there. Okay, so then got this little safety pin, and I was going to add it in. And you can add any kind of beads or clips or whatever you want to do, or just even keep the safety pin right there just for decoration. I think it's kind of fun. Okay. So I think I'm going to be good with that one. This one, I thought I would put this little flower right here. And then I've got a bulb clip and a little charm. Just gonna glue this down with some hot glue. Oop, little string, yikes. Okay, it's gonna be one of those days. Throw everything on the floor first. However, we got it, and it's still glued, so we're good. Okay, then this is the little charm that I have. think it says made with love. It says something, guys. We will put this on here. Oops. There we go. That's kind of cute. Let's see, what does it say? All right. Oh, and this one, I was gonna add some cute little, I've got some little diamond dots. I think maybe 3 or 4 of them, like right there, would be really cute. Oh, look at that. They can all be evenly spaced out in a row if I do it right. I think we'll do 4. Okay, so yeah, that's kind of fun. Adds a little bling. Okay, so this one, I have a piece of paper from a 6x6 pad of Prima paper from the romance novel collection. It looks like this. This is the paper that I want, though. I think I'm gonna tear this one out and just put that on the back. I think we'll just get it started so we don't tear all this other stuff. Okay. My friend really likes yellow. This is kind of a yellowy flower. So we'll put this on the back. It allows me to write a little message, name of my card. Since it's an ATC, kind of nice to put the date, my name, and that it was Things with Wings. Okay. And it will hide a little bit of that background that's white. I think I'd like to hide a little bit more of that background. So I've got some book page here. Some people put backings on their cards, some people don't. Kind of depends on what I'm doing to decide if I want to or not, but this one I'm just going to go ahead and do it. It'll hide some of this white paper that I used as a background and kind of seal in a little bit of that glitter tool. You can sometimes get some really cool stamps for ATC cards that say like the name of your card, the date, the artist name, that kind of stuff. Kind of cool. Alright, so that looks a little cleaner where I kind of pieced some things together. And then we'll put this down. And we'll put some ink on it. Put it just over enough so that we don't have to tear any more out of there. Leave room for that eyelet. All right, then when that dries, that will be a nice place to write some things on the back there. Kind of fun. One thing to remember, if you're doing an ATC swap, if you're adding bulky things like the medals and the baubles and some charms and all of those things, you will have to put them in like a padded envelope, and then it'll cost a little bit more because it's not machinable. They'll have to hand feed it through their machines or whatever. So one thing to consider. I don't let that stop me too much because it's like, I don't know, a little bit of an upcharge, not too bad, but something to consider nevertheless. Okay, so there's that one and that one. I think I'm going to call those done. And then we just need to finish up these other ones. Not to make them similar, but I think I really like this. It's kind of like a orangey coral something or another color. Put that one on there. You could use like I have this little gold twine we could have wrapped behind there, but I actually kind of like the simplicity of it. Let's see, I haven't done much to this one, but I think I'm going to do another bee on the acetate and put it up here. Just needs something extra up there. Oh, and I forgot I had these cute little tags too. Let's see. And then I have these cute little, where did they go? Little tiny bee brads somewhere. I set them here and then I changed my mind because I wasn't going to use them. Okay. Oh, there they are. Look at how tiny and cute these little bees are. Let's see if we can put one on a tag. Ooh. So they're just super cute. Tiny. Let's see. Poke a little hole here. Oh, that's pretty cute. Maybe I'll hang it off that safety pin. Flatten it out and trim this little excess off. So that's like super cute and tiny. This little, I'll put it on this guy. There we go. That gives that little safety pin a purpose too. How cute is that? All right. I quite like that. This one, I have this a ball pen, but I'm not sure what I want to put on it yet. I think this one's pretty cute, just kind of as it is. And let's see. Okay. Let's get some more ink. stamp another bee. All right. Wipe this off. So that's how that bee will go. And that one, for some reason, is telling me it really needs some kind of lace. So let's see what we've got. This has been my favorite lace to work with lately. So maybe we'll just use a little scrap piece of it here. And just put that little bee right under there. Maybe I'll cut this at an angle, and we'll see how that does. I don't know if I like that. Maybe it just needs a little smaller piece. Yeah, there we go. That'll do it. So I can put a little blob of hot glue under here because that's going to be hidden by the lace. Okay. Now I guess I just need to decide if I'm done with this one. I actually think it's kind of nice, so I think we'll just call that one good. Not sure yet if I'm going to hang anything or not, but if we want to, we need to cut this acetate away from the eyelet. It's covering it up. There we go. Well, you know, I think I might just leave this one. Sometimes it's kind of nice to just have a little bit of some simplicity. I do have some of these though, that might be pretty. Just use some tweezers and maybe glue them down. Some pretty little sequins. Okay. I don't think I'm gonna have any rhyme or reason to where I'm putting these. I'm just gonna put them on if I can pick them up. Did I glue that even the right way? All right, hot glue is a little tricky. And there's mesh back there, so it's trying to stick onto the mesh. However, I really like how it looks, so we're gonna do our best to make it work. Funny how sometimes things are just on your desk and they're perfect for the project, as it turns out. I had no intention of using these sequins, but they were here because I needed the container. And I think they actually look really cute. Not the easiest thing to glue. This would have been a really fun one to make as a shaker, but we're still getting a little bit of that effect here. All right. So we could probably keep going with that all day, but I think we'll stop because I don't want to put too many. Pull off all these little glue strings from using hot glue. And I think it looks pretty cute, actually. So there we have it. I think we're gonna call it good. Can never seem to find the glue lid. There it is. Get them all together so we can see how we did. So that one has a charm. The bulb pen is upside down. Ooh, okay. Well, it doesn't have a charm right now. I will collect it for the end photo. So this one has a little tag. And that one will have a little charm. All right, you guys, I hope you enjoyed watching me create these 4 cards. 2 of them are going to be the altered playing cards for the full deck challenge, and then these 2 are ATCs for my things with wings swap that I'm in. So yeah, pretty straightforward. Didn't use too many supplies really, and yet I created 4 totally different looks. These ones are a little bit the same, but still a little different. and fun just as well. So anyways, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, liking, and hitting the share button, or at least the notifications and thumbs up, so that way you will know when I make more videos, and I will see you guys in the next one.